what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be making ugly art, as is my tradition, and I'll introduce myself in a second as I get going. But I'm going to first be making a little zine layout, and then from that zine layout, I'm going to do kind of evolutionary art. So starting with absolute chaos, and then seeing which aspects of the chaos I like best, and then integrating that onto the next page while I continue with more chaos. So I'm gonna get going with the folding and whatnot. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And if you don't know me, I'm Lore Alexander. If you do know me, you'll probably know me as the ugly art person who just loves talking about making ugly art, helps coach people to make ugly art, which might sound a little silly in theory, like who needs help making ugly art? Maybe you think that your art is already ugly and why would you make more of it? And that's kind of what my whole belief is that yeah, we should make ugly art. Making ugly art is part of the process of being an artist. So if you're somebody who thinks, oh, I am not a creative person, so I'm not going to make art because all of my art will be bad, I will say to you that you are a creative person, and that in fact making ugly art is part of what makes you an artist. And we should all strive to make more of it and celebrate the ugliness that comes out of having a moment of bravery to create something in the first place. So that's my belief. That's who I am. That's what I do. And let's get started with some chaos. I'm not even gonna make like a cover for this. I'm just gonna kind of go. And when I start making ugly art, I really like to pick my least favorite colors. I pretty much like most colors, but I'm still not a fan of like a brown, which is funny because I use a lot of brown, but I guess I use a lot of brown because I'm always making ugly art, so a lot of my art has brown in it. And it often adds layers or elements that I end up really liking, so anyway, I'm still gonna go with brown because I still don't like it. I think a blue would look not great with that. I don't know. Maybe a yellow. Yeah, I truly don't like this combination at all. Okay, so we're gonna go. And so like I said, I'm doing just like, I'm starting with chaos because that's what ugly art demands of us, is starting with chaos. And from there, I'm gonna basically just like see if anything stands out to me as like, oh, I kind of like how this turned out. And if it doesn't, then I mean, ultimately I'm just gonna like start again on the next page. So I decided to do this because my girlfriend and I were listening to some podcast about existence and how like nothing is real, and how, oh, this is just like a highlighter. Ooh, that's even worse. I hate that so much. That's quite ugly. But so yeah, we were listening to a podcast about how like, you know, we can't really know what's real and how everything is just like a perception of it's what our brains are able to perceive, and there's so much that we're not able to perceive. And like, you know, kind of that whole like, if a tree falls in the forest and no one can hear it, did it make a sound? And then there's the like this theory that goes, well, there's not even a tree to begin with because no one was there to witness it. So stuff like that is what we were listening to. And which was, you know, fun to let the brain do what it wanted with that. But like as I was listening to it, my mind was naturally just going to like chaos theory, because the stuff about like reality and things like, you know, I can't guarantee what's real or what's not, or it's really hard for my brain to be like, yes, totally, none of this is real, I can get on board with that. Like my brain doesn't really want to get on board with that. because I'm a sensing, feeling being, and so it's like, it's really hard for me to get on board with that idea. Anyway, so anyway, I started thinking about chaos theory, and I love thinking about chaos theory. Chaos theory was really like what helped me get out of religion, and like the idea behind chaos theory is that, like, yes, literally all of this that you can see arose out of chaos. Like, there was, you know, the Big Bang, and then just chaos pursued, and then now we have these like natural order of things, because the longer you have chaos, the more you'll have like order come out of that, because like what works, or what is like what works out of chaos will duplicate, essentially. And so like that's how you get evolution. And so then, of course, as I'm thinking of this, as we're driving down the road, my brain is like, oh my god, my ugly art is evolution, is chaos theory in action. Because one of the things that I found is that in making ugly art, oh, now that's, of course, it's green now. Why did I think that anything other than that would happen? I don't know. But one thing that's happened as I've made ugly art over the years is that I've started developing my own style. And that's been a really cool surprise of like, oh, but it's also like, of course, if you are making art all the time, even if you're just like making absolute nonsense, over time, your art is going to start looking a different way. It's going to evolve. You're going to start tending toward the elements of style that you really like. And then your style is going to evolve. So anyway, I had this realization in the car, and then I was like, I wonder if I can like duplicate this process in like real time, or in like, you know. So here's page one. Page one is this. So I'm curious if there's anything that I really like about this, and stuff I want to carry over. I think I am gonna carry the yellow over, surprisingly, because I think the yellow ended up being kind of fun as like a background. So I think I'll keep the yellow and maybe the blue. I'm gonna ditch the brown, and we'll see what happens next. So now I'm just gonna keep going with more chaos, and see what comes up. So yeah, I'm probably not going to talk throughout this whole thing. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I guess I'll just keep making, and maybe add some music or whatever as I'm editing things. I'm trying really hard not to like let my style that's already developed like influence this too much, but obviously like I can't promise that that's not happening, because I've been making art for a while now, and I kind of like I fall into styles that I like, so I can't guarantee that that's not happening. So if you're like, that's not fair, you're actually like you're making things that don't, I don't know, I wouldn't know how to make that. I don't know why you'd be complaining about this. But also, like, if you don't think you could make that, then I don't really know how to help you, or how to yeah. Anyway, I guess all I'm saying is like, if you're looking at this and thinking like, well, I still couldn't do that, then like I think there's probably like something else happening below the surface that you are, you know, might be worth exploring. Like there might be like an aspect to this that like you are maybe a little scared of, because you're judging yourself a little too harshly. But what do I know? I'm just a little creativity coach over here, trying to help people discover just how creative they are. Even when they don't think they are. That's all I'm doing over here. Okay, these are kind of fun. Okay, I'm gonna carry over that yellow. And like, I don't know if I'll be able to really demonstrate what I'm getting at just in this like tiny little booklet, because it has taken me a really long time to start to have a style that I like. And like, I was looking through all of my notebooks the other day with my girlfriend, and I was just kind of like showing her, it was like the tour of Laura's creativity, and it was, yeah, I loved kind of looking through and being able to point out like, oh, I can like see the origins of where I started using like this specific texture, or really started exploring a certain way of like adding detail or something. Like even something so simple as just like drawing a little bit longer so that I had a little bit more detail to work off of. Even something as small as that. Like you just get a little bit bolder with each time that you make art, which is really freaking cool. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Ow! Oh my gosh, I just pinched my finger. Okay. Just earlier today, I realized that my problem with this desk is that it hits my knees. My knees hit it, and I was wondering where all these bruises on my knees were coming from. And surprise, surprise, it is because I keep trying to sit cross-legged on my desk, and then I hit my knees. So, fun stuff. Okay, so here we've got page 1, and I decided to take the yellow over, and then page 2, I also kept the blue. I do like these kind of like clawed features. I don't really know what you would call that. Fanned out lines, I suppose. I always do love a curlicue. I kind of just like this one in general. I think it's fun. So maybe I just kind of keep playing off of that. I'm gonna just like stick with the same colors and just see what other design wants to come out, I suppose. I'm gonna like kind of go big with this concept. Okay. If I decide I like doing this, I'll have to get like a nice like ASMR mic so you can have the ASMR of the markers on the page for your listening pleasure. Let's see. All right, and I also have to remember, like, I'm still making ugly art, so like this is still gonna, I still gotta add some like chaos back into it, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're making ugly art, so this is still, we're not trying to make this like perfect. We're still just trying to like bring in different aspects of each thing. Let's like color in the curls. I don't know. Why not? Why the hell not? Okay, color in the curlicues. If you like are ever making art and you're just like, I don't know what to do with this, like my favorite thing is like as you can probably tell already, is like adding lines and coloring things in, because those are like the two most basic things that you can possibly add to a picture, is just the extra extra color and extra lines. And voila, you will always have more to add. This is kind of fun. Okay. Let's see, do I want to add more yellow this time? Maybe I just, let's see. Sure, why not? I don't know if I like the yellow this time. Yeah, not really. I'm not a big fan of the yellow this time. But you know what? We're here, so maybe we'll just honor the yellow on this last evolution and then let it die off with its brethren. Because that happens sometimes. Sometimes you like a style for a little bit and then you're like, you know what, this isn't working for me anymore, and then you don't have to do it anymore. Turns out you don't have to keep doing something that's not working. Evolution teaches us that through death, I guess. Okay, elements of this one that I like. I do like just like the overlaid image with like the background kind of more chaotic with just like the, you know, static image on top. I don't know that I'm like thrilled that it just kind of looks like a palm of some kind, like a tree. Like I don't really want like a leaf on top because that feels a little basic and boring to me. So I'm gonna keep playing around with this like kind of lined background with something overlain on top, and we'll see what comes out of that. I think I want to try a different color than the blue though. Let's do, now if I do green, then it really is just a palm tree, which again, not what I'm going for. Just this little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay. Then maybe I want to do like orange or like a red. Ooh, red could be fun. Okay, let's try red. So, I guess I can still do, ooh, what if I do that like kind of shape still, but like make it kind of a clod. Like a, oh, that looks like a crab leg. That's fun. Ooh, this can just like have like little crabs coming out of it. Oh, that's fun. Okay, this is weird and great. Okay, that's very fun. I just made like little crab leg things. Okay, I like that. It's fun. I'm gonna kind of do a part color. I'm gonna keep making it kind of messy because it's ugly art and it's not supposed to be perfect, and I'm noticing myself trying to make it perfect, and I need to stop that. I don't need to stop that. Like, okay, here's the thing. Here's my forever disclaimer about perfectionism. If you have read The Perfectionist Guide to Losing Control by Catherine Morgan Schaffler, you already know this. If you haven't, highly recommend you listen up. So your perfectionism is not, in fact, I know I said I was gonna let the yellow die, but it's gonna stick around. Okay, your perfectionism is not a problem, in a sense. So like you wanting to be good at things, you wanting to have a really cool life, you like your desires in life, none of those are bad, right? That is totally okay and good. Let's do some wigglies. And in fact, perfectionism can be a sort of superpower for us. But the problem is when our perfectionism says that, you know, I want it this way, so it must be that way. Or like, I want to make art, but I want to make art that looks this certain way, and if I can't make art that looks this certain way, then I'm not going to make art at all. Like, it's the all or nothing thinking that ends up being like a maladaptive trait of our perfectionism that keeps us stuck. So if you experience perfectionism and you feel stuck, then absolutely your perfectionism might be providing a little bit of a problem for you. But if you feel like you're a perfectionist and you're on your way to living a life that you are so proud of, and you're making art that you're proud of, or you're making whatever it is that you like to make, it doesn't have to be art per se, but you are doing the things that you want to in this life, then you are what would be called a like adaptive perfectionist, where like your perfectionism is actually helping you. It's like it's pulling you toward the dream life that you have. And the only kind of truly one of the only like very small mind adjustments that we can make to be like, hey brain, like I want to be moving toward my goals, not be standing still and staying stuck, is being like, actually, I'm allowed to make mistakes, which sounds so simple and is like so obvious. I'm allowed to make mistakes. So I'm allowed to start here with this disaster. I'm allowed to start with this mess of scribbles and then start again and do different scribbles and then keep going until you have these crab legs, which I really like. I think these are really fun. I kind of want to go more spirally with it, maybe, and see how that goes. And I do like the two colors there on the spiral. I don't think I want it to be yellow still. I think I am gonna finally retire. Like, I'm gonna retire the yellow. The yellow is now extinct. And you know what? Call me crazy, but I want to bring back the brown. I know, weird. Okay, so now I'm gonna do. We're gonna start in the middle. Oh no. Oh, this might be bad. This might look stupid. You know what? That's okay. What are we doing? We're making ugly art. So is it ugly? Probably. I don't know, that was my little cheer. No, okay. Whatever. Doop, doop. Okay. How do I doop, 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 doop. This was what I was worried about. No. Okay. I guess yeah, if I just keep working from the inside, this is helpful, I suppose. I am actually doing a event at the library today in Tacoma, And I'm kind of thinking I might have people do this for themselves. Like this might be the, because usually I do a much more free form, like do whatever you want kind of a thing. But this is pretty fun. Yeah, that's supposed to be colored in if I'm doing that. All right, and then we're gonna do the brown the rest of the way. Oh, now I'm wondering, okay, so if I then am coloring the outside a different color, then maybe I do the outside line a different color too, so that I don't have like the red line on both sides. See, we're learning. It's evolution. So I will do that on the next iteration, but we're gonna finish out this iteration with the brown and the red on both sides. But yeah, this is it. This is the work is just making more and more art and seeing what each iteration of your art turns into, which is freaking cool. And like, if you are one of those people who's just like, I can't even start.
Someone was detected at your back alley.
Sorry if you heard Alexa. If you're one of those people that's just like, I can't get started in the first place, then, I mean, maybe you want to like schedule an appointment with me. If you're looking at me doing this and you're like, I can't, like, how do you even have the courage to like sit down and make this in the first place? What you're making is so ugly and terrible. Like a third grader could do it, and there you are just like happily making nonsense. Like, how do I do that? If you want to know my secrets, I mean, I talk about them all the time, but also if you just like want some like one-on-one help, I do offer coaching sessions, and it can be like as few as like 1 hour session. Like if you just want to have an hour session to talk to me about what you're experiencing and what your goals are, and like we can brainstorm some things that might help you get there, like let's freaking do it. I do, however, recommend signing up for like my package sessions. So there'd be 4 of them. And in those 4 sessions, I will like give you homework. We'll do things together on the call that like help train your nervous system that it is safe and okay. Okay, so I didn't go with like the lined background, and I do prefer that. So I think I'm gonna bring that back. I am gonna add like, I don't know, let's bring in another color. And we'll just do some like little wooglies, because we need some more chaos in this one. This one's pretty like organized, so let's see if some schwooglies, some little squigglies, little wormies, I don't know, just more chaos added, I guess, because just a spoonful of chaos helps the evolution happen, I guess. That's what it is, right? Also, if anybody watches this and is like, Laura, that's not what chaos theory is, you don't have a good handle on what chaos theory is, I don't know, let me know. I'm still like, I am always learning, but I do really love like concepts talked about in chaos theory, and then when I like try to explain them, they probably don't come across very well because I am not a scientist, and I am not a, you know, mathematician or physicist or anything. So I don't explain things super well, but I do make art pretty. No, I mean, I make it ugly. No, I'm just feeling silly and rambly. Doing like these little like really kind of light-handed scribbles that are just like super squirrely and random, I do really like. I do these a lot in my watercolors, actually, so it's kind of cheating for me to bring those in, because I already do these quite often with it. But you know what? They're just scribbles. Scribbles is chaos. So, what are you gonna do? Okay, so like I said, I did like I like the swirl. I think the swirl's fun. I am going to maybe, oh yeah, I was gonna do a different color. let's try some, I still like the red, I think. And maybe I'll keep the pink to go with the red, and then I'll do purple as the background color. Sure. Why not? Okay. All right. So we are once again doing a little crabby arm squirrel. I don't know, swirl. I don't know if this can like now be called a crab arm because it's just an actual swirl instead of the little crab legs that I made before, but if you have been watching the whole time, then you know why I'm calling this a crab squirrel. Squirrel! Why do I keep saying... God damn it. Anyway. Alright, so I did that part, and then we're gonna do the other side pink. Do. Oops. A little different. Okay. That's fun. Alright, we're gonna get that red back up. Do. If you are making art along with me, which I highly recommend that you do, that would be really fun. Just like being able to look up and seeing somebody else making something like silly and fun and of zero consequence, you know. So I highly recommend. If you are making some art with me and you notice a little bit of like inner critic thoughts popping up, you know, some of those like, ugh, why am I doing this? This is like so stupid. People don't need this. There's like so much like terrible stuff going on in the world. Like, why am I wasting time on this when I could be doing other things? First off, my brain does that all the time and is also doing it right now, especially like with the elements of like recording the video to this and like talking and just being like, ugh, like no one's gonna want to listen to this, Laura, like, ugh, you know. So granted, like maybe they don't. Maybe people are looking at this and being like, yeah, this is dumb, and they log off right away. Like, that's totally fine. It's, you know, a bummer when people don't resonate with the stuff that you're doing, but like, it's so important to do it anyway and to put it out there. I mean, you don't have to put it out there. Like, some of your art absolutely should just be for you. Like, I don't show people everything that I make, but like, making it in the first place is so important. Especially with everything going on in the world. Like, when you can set time aside to not be participating in consumerism, to not be participating in capitalism, to not be working, to not be consuming, like, that is revolutionary. And that is like us getting back in touch with like our most pure, authentic aspects of humanity, which is like super freaking cool. And so if your inner critic is being like a little bully to you right now, then like just know that you're not alone. Your inner critic is it's trying to make you safe. It's trying to like let you know like where there could be danger, and it's trying to like keep you on the lookout or whatever and keep you safe. And also, it doesn't have all the answers. So lean into that intuition piece, the piece of you that's like, well, okay, what if I put some more purple here in this spot, you know? Lean into that voice, the curious voice that's like, I hear you, inner critic, and I also really want to go in this direction where I'm like creating more and like seeing what else I can make or what else is interesting to me, because man, like living that other life where you're just like sitting there rotting your brain on social media, rotting your brain on like binging watching TV, which like I absolutely still do. I'm not saying like I am above that or whatever because I make art now. Like no, I absolutely still do that. But like when we find time to do stuff like this and like stretch our brains in different ways, get curious about how our art might want to evolve, like that's really freaking cool. And that's transformation. That is like, it's important. And so do it. I don't know, I feel like my pep talk kind of devolved because I was like really excited about what was happening on the page. I don't know what's going on, but I like it, and I'm gonna add some green to it, because why not? So we're just gonna keep doing these like scribblies, but like trying to put the scribblies like layered like a pancake, I guess, or like a tiramisu in the background. That's not what I don't know. Layered like a cake. So like inevitably you're seeing some of my like other style come through. Like I feel like that's kind of inevitable at this point. But I hope you can still see like the evolution of what's been happening on the page, of like the things that I thought were interesting that are carrying over. Ooh, okay, this is very fun. It's wild that we got here from here, but we did. I think I want to bring some dots back probably. But yeah, going and just like following the different, this was really the turning point. This was, yeah, this was when we like kind of got on land, we grew legs, and then this was like, okay, now we have legs and we're gonna stick with some of this. Okay, but I do want to like veer into something a little different, because otherwise these last two pages are just gonna look the same, which I find boring. So, let's see. I do still, I don't know, I still really like it, but I like don't want to keep drawing the same thing. I wish I could get advice from the audience. Maybe you can write in the comments what you recommend once you're like stuck and aren't sure what to do. I mean, honestly, my brain is like, just keep doing the thing that's working. So like the spiral, I suppose, is working, and it does look better. Like the second iteration looks better than the first. So we have learned and we have evolved, which is cool. That's my chair. I'm not flatulating. Okay, maybe let's do pink and brown this time. So we've got a different color. Stop rolling at me. Thank you. And let's off center it, because that will add a different element to it. Okay. I also just realized like how I can not just now. I feel like I messed this up, but I realized one way I can make this look a little more cool and like consistent, I guess. So I will try to do that, finishing it up, and then I will also try again on the next page, because this one didn't fully work. There we go. Sort of. Okay. And then we're gonna do the pink again. I can just do that. Okay. I'm gonna have to have my partner make some music for me for this like background music, because I don't really want to search for royalty-free stuff. And I'd much rather force my partner to partake in this creative outlet that she loves doing but just gets in her head about. So, but when she does stuff for other people, she is usually happy to partake in creativity. So I'm going to force my moon and stars, my beloved, to make some royalty-free music for me. Well, not royalty, but make some music for me with her talented brain that I can use on these videos for the long stretches of silence when I'm just kind of vibing. I've really been so my nesting partner who I live with, she likes to listen to YouTube videos to go to sleep, and so for the past year that we've been together, I've been starting to really enjoy going to sleep to various kind of weird videos. Some of those being like people doing playthroughs of games. A lot of those actually, sometimes it's people like talking about how they're building things, and I was just thinking like how something like this could also be, you know, something that people can like fall asleep to if they want, which kind of sounds like cute and fun. Of like, yeah, just, I don't know, a place for you to fall asleep to somebody just doing something, fucking around. Oh no, am I good at doing pointillism things in here? I love pointillism, but it takes so long and I don't know if I want to do that for this whole video. Okay, let's, I'm already like, ooh, I like how it looks, but it's gonna take a really long time. Maybe I'll speed up this part of the video, I guess. I guess we'll see, because I do really like it. It just takes a long time. So, all right. With that done, we have one more page. I don't know how that got, so I guess it just is from whatever. I love how this has evolved. I kind of want this last page to just be more chaos, kind of returning to this nonsense, but like kind of bringing in a lot of more of the aspects of like what I've like learned that I like. So it's gonna be a little more crazy, but maybe just with like a couple of these little curlies throughout, I suppose. So we'll do one of those. Oh, I was gonna do the pink instead. And I'll do the yellow for the red one. Bring back the yellow from extinction. You know, normal things. Okay. Do, do, do. As I've been doing this, I've realized one of the things that I will need if I'm going to make more of these videos going forward is like a way to tell like where I am in the frame, kind of, because I'm not like looking at the video as I'm doing it. So then it's just kind of like silly that I'm like down here and you're all like looking at it from a different perspective. Woo. Okay, so we're adding some more of that like chaos from the beginning. What else did I like? Oh yeah, some squiggly lines. We'll make those with the purple, kind of harkening back to some of the other designs that were fun. I don't really want to do that all the way across though because I'm lazy, but I will do some more of these crossways. And then we'll do some more of the like yellow Long live the yellow. Anything else I want to harken back to? Oh, some dots. I liked the dots. Boop, boop, boop. Guess there's already some dots from the whatever got on the page before. Alright, so here's our zine. We have the start with chaos, and then we've got page 2, page 3, some little crab legs turned into a crab spiral, which turned into a little nicer spiral with different backgrounds. And more spirals. We really got into our groove with the spirals. And then the last page, harkening back to some more of that wildness. But anyway, I hope that I kind of get what I'm going for here, and I hope you'll try it. I'm gonna keep trying it. This is all an experiment to just see how my art changes as I do this, and just I would love to see if you want to try this and just like make your own little ugly art evolution book. And yeah, let's keep making art, keep making ugly art. It's all good stuff. Spending your time doing this is part of the hard work of self-transformation and evolution of humanity as a species, which sounds a little dramatic, I know, but I hope that you'll trust me when I tell you that the more art you can make, the more you will become yourself. So make ugly art, love your ugly art, and I'll see you later.